Welcome to my.
Damn it, can we just cut to the intro?
So today's video is going to be very focused on the topic motivation, and not just motivation, but talking more in the sense of how to acquire motivation, the different phases that we go through before losing motivation, and pretty much what's going on now with this whole pandemic and how intense this restricted lifestyle is now, and how it's eating away really at our confidence and pretty much gonna reflect our motivation once we get into the gym. So things that have happened, I lost my motivation. I am not ashamed of saying it. I completely resonate with the fact that motivation isn't something you're just born with. You can definitely acquire it. It's something that is a skill that you polish as you experience things in life. And I think that what's going on now is definitely something that either is going to destroy your motivation, and it mentally will set you back from where you want to get in terms of your goals and where you want your body to be, or it can give you a step back for a major comeback. So my story goes a little like this. Life was great. The gyms were open. I was currently in New York City. I was working out five times. The sixth day was a cardio day, so I was lifting 5 times, and cardio was two times actually back then. So my sixth day was my cardio day, and the other day was just a day where I was doing cardio and lifting. So what happened was my body was in a pretty much programming state where it was a lifestyle for me. I was not just thinking about working out, I was pretty much programmed like that, whether I was working or before I was working or after I was working, I was going to the gym. It was part of my routine. It was something that couldn't live without, honestly. And a lot of people that are watching this probably already understand that it's something that many people need. For me though, it was a huge problem because I actually discovered moving to Miami, once the gyms were, when I moved to, the gyms were still not open, pretty much going to the park and working out. I was running, and I realized that I learned being here that I actually have a bit of anxiety, and I don't know, I've never really felt my anxiety before be so strong as how it has been when I first landed here, the first 2 weeks, until society pretty much took the one thing that was keeping my stress levels and keeping my anxiety down, which was working out, which was actually going out there and challenging myself and doing something I love to do. And once I got stripped of that, not only did my anxiety kick in, but anxiety leads to a lot of other things. It can lead to not depression, but demotivation, and just you're so focused on your goals and what you want to achieve, and the fact that you can't be in the gym and do what's gonna get you to your goals. It amplifies your anxiety, amplifies the feelings that you get from it. So it really demotivated me. I was happy to go back to the gym, but going back into working out at a facility around people, and it was, my confidence wasn't there, honestly. Like, I felt like I let myself down. I felt like, although I was keeping myself active in the park and doing home workouts back when I was in New York, I felt like I could have done better. I'm pretty much a very hard critic when it comes to myself, and that's one of the things I've always thrived on, just critiquing myself, critiquing how I work out, figuring out, whether I'm lifting too much weight in the gyms, or am I not pushing myself as hard. And that's one of the tools that I have that has always helped me kind of push myself to not just progressing, but progressing in a very safe way. I've never had a workout injury to this day. I know people that have had injuries, and that's mainly because ego does have. And for me, ego has been a big problem, but not something that I've pretty much have dwelled on too much. But going back into the motivation, guys, it's important to just understand. Going back to gyms, you're going to lose strength for sure. You know, strength is something that if you're not consistently lifting at this intensity, you will lose strength. Will you lose muscle? That may be the next thing that you may lose from not progressively overloading your muscles. But will you lose motivation? Motivation is the third thing that is safe. And it's honestly, for me, the most important factor into working out. If you're going through this phase and you lose muscle, it'll happen. If you lose strength, it'll happen. But if you lose your motivation, it's the source that will get you to those two other goals. So you want to make sure that you protect that. You protect that as much as possible. And the way you protect your motivation is by relocating or remembering what your purpose is. Okay? So certain people tell me, hey, like, how do you stay motivated? You know? My purpose is pretty vague. And when you have a very vague purpose, your goals are going to be very long term, which is going to keep you working longer. So my purpose, honestly, has not been just working out and progressing and building muscle and getting stronger and all these things. I want to learn and just acquire as much knowledge as possible, and that's the reason why, for some of you that may know this, I have studied and gotten a whole certification, Can Learn, so I can pass that around, so I can teach people. So my purpose in the gym is to continue to progress while learning my flaws and catching my mistakes along the way. So to continue learning and absorbing what works and what doesn't work for me. So when I train people, I can actually put myself in that seat and understand what it is that that person's going through in that exercise, in that movement, you know. I'll give you guys a perfect example right now. Most of you may already know, and I may be going off topic just shortly, but most of you may already know that not every program, not every workout is going to hit everybody the same way. Everybody's different in a lot of situations. And a lot of individuals that have been training have been basically setting their body up a certain way where their body can only be trained in that format. I'm going to give you guys a good example. Certain people, when they first start working out, they decide to do bicep curls. Certain people decide that when they do bicep curls, they're going to do something along the ways of this. So what I'm trying to just basically tell you guys is, the way you start working out is how you're going to program your body and how it's going to absorb the future movements. Somebody that has started working out on their biceps or on another muscle and didn't really start off with a trainer is going to get their body custom. Thought process as a trainer is this: if somebody does a bench press, for example, and they're not able to practically push their shoulders back and just engage their chest, they're gonna basically have their shoulders more pushed forward, which means once they do the bench press, they're gonna be engaging more shoulders than they're supposed to. So if you train that person doing shoulders another day, you don't want to have them do too many pushing movements, dumbbell, military press, and just a shoulder press machine. Like, that is way too much pushing movement, because their chest day, when you tell them to do bench press, they're already going to be doing a bench press like this, which means the shoulder is already being activated a certain percentage when they're doing chest. So when you train them only in shoulders, there's a lot more shoulder activity going on, and that can lead to an injury. That's one thing I want to give you guys as an example. So if your motivation, your purpose is to go through training and learn all these things and acquire knowledge, my purpose is very dense, so my motivation is going to be skyrocketing. One of the main reasons why I moved to Miami and I decided to be here, and I realized that if I can't work out, if I can't learn from experience the things I want to know more and more and more about, I'm going to stay quarantined and, study and take up a certification. And thankfully I was able to do everything online because testing centers were closed. So everything worked out, and and I regained my motivation back by learning the things I wanted to learn, and not only passing the exam, but remembering and picking up on things that I realized that, oh shit, as much as I progressed training this way and doing things this way, I learned some things along the way from that certification that made me so excited to get back into the gyms. And I am now even more polished, and my mind is more polished in catching a lot of the mistakes that I never thought, or a lot of the other flaws that I never thought I was doing correctly. I mean, people tell you, hey, like if you're working out and you're working out on your shoulders and it starts to burn, it starts to hurt, then it's working. Not completely. So I'm grateful for that. My motivation, I lost it, I gained it back, and I'm super happy. But for you guys out there, doesn't mean that your motivation is going to be gone forever. If you lost your motivation during quarantine like me, you either have to remind yourself what was your purpose before quarantine and pandemic happened, or relocate a new purpose. Okay? And it cannot be a short purpose. If you pick a very short purpose, your motivation is going to be gone. If your purpose in the gym is, oh, I want to go back to the gym because I want to gain back my strength and my muscle, and if you do that, what's going to happen? There's no purpose, there's no motivation. You already acquired your goal. So make sure that your goals are as big as possible, and your purpose is going to be the fire to ignite you to get to those goals. So guys, that's pretty much my thoughts on just motivation and my tips on getting yourself back on track, and some of my experience dealing with losing motivation and gaining it back. And I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you're having a great day. If you're seeing this, I hope that if you're home right now and quarantine, you have a great home workout. And next video, I'm gonna be focusing on nutrition. I do want to get a video out where I talk to you guys and walk you through a whole routine in the gym, but unfortunately there's a lot of restrictions right now here in terms of machinery and things available. A lot of things are blocked off and you can't use it, so I don't have an accessibility to every machine, which may actually be an issue for a video, so that would be something that I post later on along the line. But for now, if you guys have anything you want me to cover in terms of conversation topics, comment in the section below. My Instagram is the same name, it's OmarFitness_, so send me a DM there, and I want to cover as much things as I can that you guys want to see, and that's it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.